this is Kayfabe episode. I don't know what. It doesn't really matter. We're talking about Full Gear. Is that what we're talking about? Full Gear, right?
Full Gear.
Full Gear.
Yeah.
Who lost it, bro? I don't even remember who wrestled. I have been. Okay, so I'm going to preface by saying this, and it's not nothing to do with AEW. I know we're talking AEW today, but I'm going to preface by saying this. I made the conscious decision to stop watching Raw and SmackDown. 100%.
Yay!
Oh, shit.
Welcome.
I have
to the
not
club.
watched it in about a month. It still records on my DVR, and when I sit down to watch TV, it goes straight to the delete. Like I can't. I'll even skim through NXT because even I think NXT is just not quite what it was.
Right.
And so I'll get what I want to see, and then I just will. The only thing I'm watching is AEW. I can't, dude. I'm invested in nobody. I'm invested in nobody's storyline. There's still some people I'd like to see. Like I'm a fan of. Everybody knows I'm a fan of Alexa Bliss. I kind of keep up with what she's doing, but I can't
like
watch
what they're
it.
doing right now, kind of just from afar, without actually watching it. I like what they're doing with her. Actually watching it may have changed my mind, but from afar, looking at what they're doing from out the outside, I like the costuming that they're doing with her. I like the idea. That's all I'm going to say about that. I would miss. You know what? You say it's Harley Quinn, but I don't really see it. It's more of just like I guess it's more maybe like an Arkham Harley, like the game, the video game. Arkham Harley, but I don't really see it as being a Harley. I think it's just like a cool version, a goth version of Alexa Bliss, anyways. But no, I mean, I dig the look though. I mean, it looks cool.
She's kind of like that anyway. She's real close to doing she has her own cosplay thing, not like Selena Vega, but she has her own quick cosplay thing. I know where you're going with this, Vic, so go ahead.
Yeah, congratulations to her. She just she got proposed by her boyfriend.
Ryan Cabrera is her boyfriend. Her now fiance, Ryan Cabrera. Ryan Cabrera of pop music fame. But millions of boys in their garages and basements are sad right now. But it's all good.
I'll be pouring a 40. I'll be pouring a 40.
Well, I was just going to say, I'm in the garage right now, and so is Dan. So that's where we're going.
In my bong water.
He will get over it. No, good for her.
I mean,
go ahead.
But yeah, no, I mean, just getting back to the whole WWE thing. Yeah, no, I mean, I miss Asuka. I did watch Halloween Havoc, and I liked I liked what they did with Shotzi, but they could have done more. I thought that just they had the Shotzi's choice on the thing and then didn't even use it. But that's all I'll say about that.
The spin a wheel, make a deal just brought back memories of the old Sting Jake Roberts match, the coal miners on the pole match from '91. Brought back a lot of memories, and just a little bit of that whole. We're very nostalgic, very nostalgic.
Did you watch any of this, Mike? Did you watch any of this stuff that we've gone over?
I watched Full Gear. I did not watch Halloween Havoc. It just didn't work out.
I haven't seen it yet. Is it worth it? Or
No.
should I just not?
No.
You know what? I'll be honest with you. I actually loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. What's that one dude? The guy who always wears that fucking biker hat, man. They did kind of like a little cinematic thing when he went to.
Yeah.
Biker
which
hat.
is pretty cool.
What are you talking about?
What's his face? He was on He was on Impact many years ago.
Fuck.
Cameron Grimes.
Cameron Grimes. Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah,
Trevor Lee. There you go.
Yeah, it's funny because the Trevor Lee thing connects back to something we have to when we talk about the deletion match. But that was obviously another attempt at them doing with those cinematic things. It was executed just as the same as the other ones, I guess.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was drawn out. Hey, you brought up, that's a good transition into what we actually came to talk about, which is Full Gear. You mentioned the Deletion match. What was this one called? It was called it's slipping
This
my mind.
one was
Deletion.
Elite Deletion.
The Elite
match.
Deletion. All right. So like I'm gonna shy away from doing the match to match thing because we agreed a long time ago we're not gonna do a match to match thing. It just takes way too long. But
No.
I know
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
know that was wanted to talk about the Elite Deletion match. So have at it, anybody. You're welcome. What do you think?
I thought it was fantastic from the fact that it was blatantly parodying not only matches from the past, which we'll get to, but it was blatantly parodying the cinematic matches that WWE has been having. Clearly, 100%. Even though obviously they've done those before, but this one, certain things about it, which you clearly see were parodying. There were spots that was direct parodies of the Undertaker AJ match.
Can you
For
give
sure.
us one? I'm trying to think of what would have been one.
Early on, just when they're in the there's some spots that with the lighting is very. I thought the lighting was very similar and things like that. But I mean, yeah, no, I mean if you want to go back further, obviously there was the Hardy Compound the match with Bray Wyatt, which was obviously there was references to that. Which then, of course, that was references. I guess we have to take it back. You guys probably all saw this. I had to actually look it up, and that's the total nonstop deletion match from Impact.
Yeah, I watched the first one. Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys all have seen that, and you guys all know the references that were from that, or do I need to just kind of just highlight them?
No, anything.
Oh,
you
yeah,
want.
we've seen them.
Yeah, I
Just-
saw the first one. Yeah.
Yeah, because you guys mentioned Trevor Lee, and he was actually a part of that match.
Uh-huh.
Because he was part of the Helms dynasty, which was part of that match. The first appearance of the Lake of Reincarnation was in the total nonstop deletion match because Helms got thrown into it. Also there, he emerged as his 3-count alter ego, Sugar Shane Helms.
Yeah.
Which I had to look up 3 counts, which apparently was the original 3MB.
Yeah,
As far
WCW. Yeah, WCW.
Well, courageous. No.
Yeah,
That
guy. Anyway, next.
Well, the thing that I didn't understand, Gangrel shows up, which was fucking awesome because I was a huge Broodmark back in the days. He's got Hurricane Helms like tied up or whatever, and Matt Hardy's like, I had to come to AEW to finish the storyline. It's long-term storytelling. I had no idea what he was talking about, but apparently he had done this like spooky spectacular on the WWE network, and it ends on a cliffhanger of the Hurricane being kidnapped by a masked mysterious stranger, and then WWE never followed up on it.
Oh,
so
that's
that was
cool.
kind of
All right.
That
So
was
I
closing the
thought-
loop on that.
Oh, okay, because I thought it was obviously referencing the 2 previous deletion matches.
No, I don't think.
But it
that
was
part
also-
of it. Was he?
No, he wasn't. But he wasn't. But Hurricane was,
Yes.
or he was part of the original one on Impact, the one I was talking about. Because
Yeah.
in that one, he gets thrown into the Lake of Reincarnation twice. Once he comes out as Sugar Shane, and then the other time he gets knocked in there, and then he comes back out as Hurricane, and then he helps them. He helps Hardy defeat Trevor Lee and Andrew Everett.
Right.
And so I thought it was when I was looking it up, I didn't find the thing you're talking about with Gangrel because that actually makes more sense. Because there was obviously reference back to the original when Edge and Christian left the Brood, and then Gangrel's tried to start the new Brood with Matt and Jeff. So there was a reference to that as well when he said that I was the one who tried to teach you originally, and so that was obviously a reference to the new Brood.
Well, Gangrel,
Right.
I think, is a trainer too, isn't he? Gangrel actually trains
Yeah,
wrestlers too, so I think that's.
I think he might have trained Sammy Guevara.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Tried to tie
there's
that
some.
in.
Yeah, I think you're right. So I think that's where that came in. It was just all pieced together. Everybody
there's
had
just-
history
there's
because of the longevity in the business.
Yeah. It was just really great seeing though both of those guys. The fact that all of those things connect back to a bunch of different things. The lore in that match was deep. but deep cut lore that was like, it's like shit that all of us had to look up stuff just to understand all of the references in there, or else it's references that we actually lived. So it's like, it was a really great match for lore, almost just as much as a good of a match for lore as the Bucks FTR match. If anybody else has anything to say about the Deletion match, otherwise we can use that as a segue.
I do real quick. Two things I noticed is, one is the limited crowd. They must have shown it on the screen there, because they're back doing a limited amount of live fans, so they were there. And the live fans popped for Senor Benjamin. The the groundskeeper.
I did want to mention Senor Benjamin.
They did. Go ahead.
Because he also goes back apparently to TNA.
Yeah.
And I guess there was a whole lawsuit where they weren't paying him for making appearances or something like that.
That part I don't know.
Because that's what's her name's dad, which I didn't know until I looked it up. That's her. Yeah, that's her dad, which I didn't know until I looked it up.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. But because he made an appearances on the TNA, and then he was in WWE. He was in the WWE during in that same the Hardy Bray Wyatt match at the Compound. He appeared in that as the groundskeeper or whatever, the gardener. He was mentioned as the gardener.
The other thing that I was go ahead.
Yeah, he does take care of the compound, I think. I want to say. In reality, I think he really does take care of the compound one.
What is she? Are they Puerto Rican? Is that what they are?
Yeah, they are.
All right.
And part of plus that, he also has his own store on Pro Wrestling Tees, actually.
I know he does because he's over.
Lawnmower service.
Hey, am I wrong in saying that, like, unless I don't just remember this? So we had that ring that was obviously set up, and we know it's a Hardy compound, so there's room for there to be a ring because it's wrestling and all that. But like, when Private Party and Proud and Powerful were in there, and then Gangrel got in the mix there too, and Hurricane, we never saw anything past that, huh? I wasn't expecting a pinfall or anything because it wasn't a match, but like all of a sudden it just like got dropped out of that story when they went into the. It must have, because when they went into the warehouse, obviously Private Party were there and stuff. Sammy into the trash can, but I found it odd that didn't go anywhere. It didn't show the guys laid out that I remember or anything. It just all of a sudden Private Party showed up when Matt called them, to the barn or wherever they were. So I was like, that's interesting. They just kind of dropped that. I thought that was just.
Yeah, I mean, this.
Yeah, it was cut for time.
It was entertaining, but I don't need to see another one of these for a while. Like, I feel like. This is something you can't just, do 5 or 6 of these a year, because sooner or later, people are going to be like, all right, I've seen enough of this shit. I've seen Matt Hardy shooting fireworks at people.
Which was funny, by the way. That was funny, though.
It is, for sure. But these deletion matches, like, they need to be used a little more sparingly. Like, after this one, let's not see it for a while. You know what I mean?
And I thought it was specifically supposed to be a parody of not only everything that came before, but also obviously the cinematic matches that WWE had been using. I don't anticipate it being something that they would keep doing. Isn't this the first one of that type that that AEW has done, or have they done something else?
A cinematic
the Stadium
one like
Stampede don't really count.
But yeah, I was gonna say that's the only thing that would come close.
But I agree, correct. Though. I don't want to see them anymore.
Yeah, Matt Hardy is like, he's trying to get more legs out of his career for this, and I'm just glad. I mean, Sammy Guevara still damn near killed himself in this match, and these two have been like oil and water every time they've gotten into the ring. Someone's gotten hurt, like, severely.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it was a good blow off to the feud, and it was nice placing where the match was put, and, that's great, but let's move on from that,
I mean, was all this just for Matt Hardy to get Sammy over because of the Sasha thing?
I think it was I think it was because of the fuck up from the match they had where Hardy was basically we thought he was dead.
Almost killed himself.
Yeah, we almost killed him. I think that match did not end the way it was supposed to, and then there was the after that it was the stuff through the table. Where Hardy bled all over the place, and it's just like That's why I think Mike is saying oil and water, because they just keep fucking up with each other. Not on purpose. It's just been like this series of mishaps. It's like Nia Jax and
basically, I was thinking
Kairi
that.
Sane. They just don't quite. It doesn't quite gel. Like somebody always
Nia
Jax
with anybody with 2 legs.
Yeah, and not only that, but I think Sammy Guevara, he's been told in the locker room to tone it down a bit, because I think there was one incident on Dynamite where he throws the chair toward Matt's head like violently.
That's what I'm talking about. And what it is, the report from that came out that he was he freaked out because he couldn't find the right chair, the one that was supposed to be, so he just took it and threw it. Well, he fucking hit Matt, like for real, and it cut him hard way. So it was like, dude, you fucked up. Like, this is still acting, so to speak. Like,
You're exactly right. What you said, Dan. Like, that's what I meant. Every time they've had a match, there's been some kind of violent botch. And the last one, like you said, Matt Hardy, I thought he was dead. I mean,
oh yeah.
So
I remember we watched that. We're like, oh god, like is that is he okay? Like he got up. We're like, dude, he's out. Like he's not.
Yeah.
Like you have to call this. And then it sucked at the same time because that stipulation was, well, Hardy will never wrestle again. And I'm like, you can't fucking. Wow, they keep backing themselves. That's what I just didn't even think about this. AEW keeps backing themselves into that spot where they keep putting themselves in the, well, I'll never challenge for the title again. That's some bullshit, but that's a story for a different time. Because we've had that with Cody, and we almost had that shit with Matt. Matt had to finish that match because he threw the stipulation out there. The Bucks mentioned it against it. Here's your segue, Anthony. The Bucks mentioned that against their match with FTR. That was the stipulation. If the Bucks lost, they weren't going to challenge for the tag team titles again. Why would you say that?
Yeah,
because you already knew where that was
going.
You
just can't overuse that stipulation. I'm sorry. You just can't. The first one to do it is Cody. Let's leave it at that. Seriously. You can't overuse that.
Well, yeah, and obviously that almost screwed them with the Bucks, because now I don't know if you guys saw that they already had to cancel that. I don't know what happened on. Obviously, what have you guys said? You watched Dynamite already today, but because last week they announced that they were supposed to have that match against that other tag team, that new tag team,
the young guys. Yeah.
But then within hours they had canceled that match.
Are you sure? Because they wrestled earlier today.
They wrestled them?
Yeah, top flight.
Oh, that's weird, because within hours of Dynamite last week, they had announced that match was off because of the injury.
No, they still wrestled.
That's weird. I don't know why they would say to do that.
I don't know.
They played you.
They played somebody.
Matt's been nursing that back injury since New Japan. So I don't know.
He has.
I don't know what to believe. I don't know if that's real or if it's just that's a piece of the throw in. It's that long-term storytelling. Right? It's no, it's not his knee. I think it's his ankle. I think it's his ankle.
You're right.
Yeah, because when what's his name took off the boot, I think when Dax, I think it was Dax Harwood, took off the boot, he had it all taped up. He had his foot all taped up. I don't know if you caught that or not, but he had it all taped up.
Yeah, I mean, if we're going to talk about that match right now, I thought this was by far the best match on the entire card.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
100%.
And I think they had an impossible task to live up to, because everybody was saying this is the match of the century. This is going to be the greatest tag team match of all time. And I don't know if I'm ready to say that. I'd really have to think about it. But because, I mean, Golden Lovers versus the Young Bucks, I don't know if anything's going to top that for me. But
that was good. That was a good match. And we were there live, too. So that was a good match.
Yeah. Fantastic. And I just loved all the old school tag team finishers. These guys were
man.
Too.
The match was definitely set up as a love letter to tag team wrestling with all of those callbacks. I missed. They called out the reference to the Heart Foundation, but I missed that move. What was it?
The heart attack.
They did the heart attack.
Okay, I missed that
Bulldog.
one. Yeah, I saw that. They did the 3D.
Yes.
They did a Swanton and Twist of Fate.
But they didn't do the Doomsday. I was waiting for the Doomsday device.
I know. Why didn't they do that one?
I don't know, man. I was waiting for that one too, man. I was like, what the hell?
those are just the ones I could think of. There may have been more, but the story of the match was FTR working on Matt Jackson's ankle the entire match. And they worked that a lot. I mean, a lot of people were saying this match went too long, and I thought it was the right amount of time. And the finish kind of came out of nowhere, which was pretty shocking too. Just a super kick after was it Dax? It's Dax, right? That did the 450.
No, it's Cash.
The springboard.
It's Cash.
Oh, sorry, Cash Wheeler. Yeah. Man, he was a stud in this match. And then to see him try that 450 was just insane, dude. And,
well, yeah, because they don't do that. They don't do that. No, but if you notice, he did it well. He really did it well. He gave that look, and he played the crowd, and it was like, should I do this? Should I do this? I never do this. And I was like, he's going for it. You know, it was a planned spot, but I'll be damned if when he jumped up there and did that flip, it looked like that's just something he would do in every match. It came off, and I was like, damn, that came off like. I mean, yeah, he missed and stuff, but like it came off like, damn, he'd have hit that. It would have been like, that would have been it. That would have been the finish if he, was scheduled to hit that. I was like, damn, that was good. Yeah, you're right about the end.
Well, they definitely
out of nowhere. I did realize that too. The ending was out of nowhere.
Vinnie Mac will be charging a $5,000 fine as soon as he came to Gorilla. I don't want you to ever do.
Don't do that shit again. But it was a super kick to end it, like Mike said, but it was a barefoot super kick too.
Right.
Did you catch that? Because he had already had the boot off. So I was like, okay, that was a little bit different, and I thought so too. I thought that was a really quick ending for this match when we saw so many kind of false finishes.
Right.
The match was 28 minutes.
Yeah, 28 minutes and 35 seconds to be precise.
Yeah.
Close to half an hour, but I don't know what you guys thought, but to me this was definitely the best match, and I would say the second best match was Kenny and Hangman.
That was a hard hitting match. They were clubbing the shit out of each other. They were clubbing the shit out of each other. I did notice that. They were hitting each other hard. Are we seeing the Kenny of old? You think we're going back to seeing the Kenny of old?
I hope so. I saw a little clip of Dynamite tonight where they did that contract signing, and he was dressed in a suit, sunglasses on. He looked like a star again, dude. That's the kind of Kenny Omega I want to see. You know what I mean? I hope so. I hope that's where we're going. It certainly seems that way.
Well, we've talked many times on this podcast about, and we did on yours too, about how you couldn't take these guys who are the executive vice presidents and put them in the top spot. That's Dusty Rhodes booking. You know what I mean? It's Dusty Rhodes booking saying, I'm going to be the champ.
Vern Gagne booking, bro.
Right, Vern Gagne, excuse me. The historian over there, for sure. No, I mean, I say that with all respect, Vic. You know that's what's up.
I know.
But, no, and that's when I agreed with that. I agree with that, but, like, is it time now? Has it been long enough? You gave it that year. Let's try to build some of these other guys. They do have some good talent, but you knew these guys had to be in the picture. So, okay.
I mean, they already broke the ceiling with Cody. Probably way too soon. They've broken the ceiling with the Young Bucks. Kenny's the next one. I mean, who else? I mean, you have those guys. It's like Kenny deserves it. I mean, you've already had Cody. The belt, the one belt's already been on Cody twice now. So, even though he was, just designated as a transitional, but still, it's been on him twice already.
Is Hangman then the long term? You think Hangman is the long term? Because he hasn't gotten that. We thought when they first started, or your first champion, they were touting it like it was going to be Hangman, and then it ended up being Jericho, and you understood that. You understood, it's got to be Jericho because of the name value behind Jericho. You knew that, and then thought, okay, well, Hangman's going to be the guy who carries this in. Basically, he carries the company. Everybody else is a hot prospect. People know the Young Bucks. People know Kenny Omega. You don't really know Hangman. You know what I mean? He's kind of, he is part of the elite, but he's not elite. He's not that top. He's not that household name yet. Is he the long-term player?
I think the way the story's going, and it honestly makes the most sense, and it's probably the best way to tell the story. Moxley beat Omega a year ago. Omega, that kind of began his slow descent to where he is now. ultimately Omega takes the belt off of Moxley, because that story kind of closes its loop. And then you have Hangman with his build-up and his redemption story to ultimately take the belt off of Kenny. I think that's the way you transition it, and I think it makes perfect sense. But
it does. It makes all the sense.
And you still
hopefully that's where they're going.
You still got Hangman as that in-betweener too, because when the Young Bucks did win the belts, Kenny came down. They didn't really reference it, but in the back, in the tunnel, was Hangman.
Yeah.
And Tony Schiavone made some kind of vague reference about it. Was someone well, I don't see freaking Hangman standing there with his beer, but they made some vague
he referenced
reference.
it. He references it after Hangman has already left, because you see Hangman standing there, and it's obviously he's standing there, and you're waiting for them to mention it, and they're not mentioning it. It's like, what? Is there a ghost back there? But then all of a sudden Hangman leaves, and then all of a sudden Schiavone mentions it.
Yeah. And you notice they didn't mention him by name. Did you catch that? They didn't actually call him by name.
No.
They just said, was somebody watching from back over maybe they are setting up something like Mike is talking about, because it could go still either way. And that's been, as far as I understand it, that's Hangman's plan. Well, that's what he said. I want to do it like this. This is how I want to play it out.
I think there's going to be some sort of alliance between Hangman and FTR, taking on the Bucks and Omega.
The groundwork's already there. The groundwork's already there from him keeping the Bucks from getting that title shot from before. So they already laid the groundwork for that one. It's possible. But is it enough?
Well, they already have it.
Oh, maybe I'm still part of this because he was standing in the hallway, in the tunnel. I mean.
Well, you got 2.5 months to set that all up, because you're obviously not going to see the title match probably until Revolution, which is in February. So you'll have almost 3 months to set that storyline up to get to the point you need to have for them to face each other with a proper setup storyline to continue on from there after Omega takes the belt from Mox.
Hey,
quick question. Quick question. Have they announced if they're going to be televising any of the live events from the Jericho Cruise this January, or what's up?
Didn't
They're
the
still
Jericho
going to do it?
No, I think it got postponed, bro. I thought it got postponed
Really?
again. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it did.
Oh, wow.
Cruises, all cruises are postponed right now.
Well, that one went out, bro. That one went out, and something like 7 people got COVID, and now they can't even dock. The boat's we got to quarantine out here because you just got to quarantine. How is that even a good idea? Let's get you on a fucking cruise ship that for sure uses recycled air. That's so not a good idea.
Jericho went and played in Sturgis with 250,000 people.
Yeah, it was socially distanced. He'll tell you that shit, but the difference there is, cruise ships by themselves. Yes, I've been on a cruise ship, and I'm pretty sure a couple of you have too. And I'd be willing to do the Jericho Cruise one day again when it's safe. But cruise ships are known for the norovirus. People get the shits all the time on cruises because you're in that closed, you're in that enclosed space. It's not uncommon for a freaking cruise ship to go out and everybody gets the shits. That's just the way that it works. But let's change the fucking subject because I don't want to talk about that.
Bro.
I had something, man. No, it's all good. I fucking forgot what it was. Oh, back to the Kenny Omega match. We talked about botches too. We saw some botches even getting here to this match. There was a botch from the beginning with Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega's all of his opponents fucked up. Joey Janela gets exposed to COVID, has to put in Sonny Kiss, who lost in seconds, which sucks for Sonny Kiss because he's been showing, no pun intended for Sonny Kiss, but he's been showing his ass off lately. He can fucking work. He's shown that. They'd be all of a sudden I got kicked and thrown into the one-winged angel, pinned is fucking done. And then, to get the shot against Phoenix, and it can't even be Phoenix because Phoenix gets hurt. So, and with Pentagon, there's another freaking botch. It was wow, man, these guys, I don't know if it's just play too hard or what, but.
Hey, real quick. Sorry, I was say real quick,
No,
you mentioned Pentagon. Can we talk about his name change?
Yeah, Penta El Cerro.
Do we know why he changed? I understand that's the name he went by before, but do we know why they all of a sudden changed it?
I guess the relationship with AAA and AEW is coming to an end. I think Kenny Omega has one last sanctioned match. He's gonna defend the AAA Universal Heavyweight Championship against the Laredo Kid.
So which means he's gonna lose
in December.
That's what it means. He's gonna lose.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And
so that's gonna be in December.
And then Lucha Bros, don't they still have the AAA belt?
No, I don't think so. I want to say I don't. I really don't know. I think if they do, they'll probably will lose it in December with Kenny's loss in this. Because after that, I guess their relationship is gonna end. And I heard, so I guess Tony Khan is trying to establish a relationship with New Japan pretty soon, because he's trying to get some of the New Japan guys to do some AEW tapings.
Well, there's a
you might go for it.
Scuttlebutt, real quick, the Scuttlebutt, because I don't know if you guys, again with Dynamite, but someone jumped Moxley in the back, and there's speculation that that's going to end up being Kenta, so we'll see.
Ooh, that's interesting.
That'd be crazy.
That'd be crazy. That's hard hitting right there. You know what? You said Kenny Omega's match. He's been champion for a hell of a long time. It somewhat bothers me that people go and start mentioning, like, from some of these other promotions, oh man, they've been champion, 280 something days or whatever. It's like, it's because we've been fucking shut down for most of the year, and they haven't wrestled. Like, I mean, no disrespect to Thunder Rosa, but that's her. Her title reign really has only been like a month, because after that, shit got shut down. And then it was like she didn't wrestle until.
Yeah, well, actually, Serena Deep is the new.
Well, and that's where I'm going with this, Vic, because we got that. I was going to mention that's my segue, basically, to say yes, she was this long time NWA Women's Champ, but then it was like, bro, we didn't wrestle for like most of that because NWA shut down. So then we got Serena Deeb. Did you guys watch that match? Did you watch the buy-in?
No. Against Addison K. I did watch a little bit of it. It
was good. It was okay. It was okay. I don't know that they had the best chemistry together, but it was a fine match. It was a decent match. I mentioned this, and that was my segue, was that Thunder Rosa came out at the end and basically challenged Serena Deeb for it again. So those two, when they actually worked, that was a good match.
AEW seems to be more interested booking NWA women's than their own women's division. Yeah. I thought that match with Shida and Nyla Rose was fucking terrible.
Oh God.
Nyla was blown up from the very beginning, and she just looked like she couldn't execute anything. She was so tired. That spot with Vicky Guerrero was terrible. I hated that match, man.
You sent that in the group chat, and I'm going to be honest, I hadn't watched it yet because I didn't get to watch it live, and so I went in kind of looking for that because it already and obviously we talk enough that I trust your opinions on the way this stuff happens, but I definitely saw it. Too. When it was out. I was like, oh man, she's tired. She can't hang with Hikaru Shida. Like at all. Who I think is really good. I think she's really, really good.
She looked great. Oh, yeah, I love her. She's amazing.
Me too.
She just, she changed up her costume a little bit again.
Shida is just far and above all these women in this division right now. Like, that's the one thing. We talked about it when we talked on my podcast. NXT's women's division is just light years ahead of AEW right now in terms of booking and in-ring talent. I don't know. They got to figure something out because they seem way more interested in booking NWA than their own women's division.
I think the problem is that they had a women's division built up before COVID, but then half of their women's division they lost because you had Riho got lost to basically being stranded.
What's Freddie Mercury's name? What's Freddie Mercury's name? You know what I'm talking about?
Sakura?
Yeah.
You had what's her name from that she got stuck over in Japan also that wrestles for Stardom. What's her name? She was supposed to be in AEW. You had a bunch of people who were supposed to be doing things in AEW in the women's division that then got kind of locked out. I actually think that Taya Conte, they may be setting her up for a big run right at Shida. And from that match I saw last week on last week's Dynamite, she looked amazing.
I approve.
Dan's talked about her.
I approve.
Dan approves because we know Dan's talked about her before. But NXT shot their wad on her by letting her go. And she's going to end up, I think, making the run as Sheeta. They seem to have styles that would be comparable to be a really fucking great match.
3 years in, she has the athletic ability. She's a looker. She's a very good looking lady. She's very good looking.
Mm-hmm.
They dropped the ball with her in NXT. She could have been the one. I'm telling you, it could have gone over with that Latinas do it better thing. She could have gotten over if they let her be herself and just gave her the time to hone her craft. The difference between what she did in that match, and I thought the match on Dynamite was a little rough. I don't think those two quite had the chemistry that they could have. But to see what she's doing there versus what she was doing in NXT, and I've seen her live. I've seen her wrestle live a couple of times. It's light years better now than what it was when she was there. Like
she was in the first Mae Young Classic, right?
And she was a rookie. She was green as shit. That was her first year.
Did that JR call that?
Yeah, he did. I believe he actually did. I think he had part of that.
Okay, because he referenced that on Dynamite last week.
Yeah, I know. I did. I caught that. Because he knows. He probably had something to do with bringing her in. He knows that she's good, and they dropped the ball. She was never on TV on NXT. If she was losing. But I'd catch her stuff here and there. I'd be interested in it. Like I said, I did see her live a couple of times, and you get to see the difference in what she can do, and it's a lot better. She has if you ever watch interviews with her, she has charisma. She has character. She is a looker. She's on the internet, like she's one of the hottest female wrestlers on the internet because of the way she looks. But she can go. You know, she's got that background in judo. She's got a background in Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Like, bro, it's right in front of you. It's in your hands. Let her run with it. Give her the time.
Yeah, the two biggest acquisitions probably from the what I would call the COVID releases from WWE would probably end up being her and Miro.
That guy's something else.
Yeah, God. Hey, Dan, quick reference. Are you? Did you or the other Japanese girl that was that's supposedly signed by AEW, Yuka Sakazaki?
Oh yeah. She's the one that had the colorful outfits, right?
Yeah, the one she's like the princess.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Tokyo Princess Tag Team Champion. Oh, and by the way, I found some stuff on the I guess for the new you know what, we'll get back to it. Just let's keep moving. I'll get back to it, dude.
Well, we go wherever you want, man. Like I mean, Orange Cassidy wrestled on this pay-per-view, and I didn't think that match was anything special. Not really. I mean, it's just him continuing to get over.
I wanted to mention the 3 matches scheduled for Triple Mania 28 in Mexico City.
Okay.
This December. You got Pagano versus Chessman, which is a hair versus hair match. Kenny Omega versus Laredo Kid for the AAA Mega Championship. And this is a tag team match. It's the Marvel Lucha Libre Edition exhibition match.
Oh, have you guys heard about this?
Americana.
Hold on. Go for it. Like, finish it. Have you guys heard about this?
Terra Metanoid.
So, okay, I heard Conan talk about this. So basically, AAA struck a deal with Marvel, right? That's what this is. AAA struck a deal. Well, that's Disney, yes, but AAA struck a deal with Disney to take some of their characters and turn them into luchadors, which is that's what Vic is referencing. There's actually going to be that. They even give him names that are like Spider-Man, whatever they call Spider-Man, but it's like that's Spider-Man's
is that
outfit.
where those come from?
Yeah, that's what that is.
Oh, because they're coming out with pops.
Yeah, that's what they're from. Yeah. Those pops.
And a lot of people were bitching about how come you're making pops of this stupid shit instead of making pops of real people like the Lucha Brothers and stuff like that. Okay, I saw a whole thing on Twitter about that, but then I was like, what the hell?
I have the answer to that. The answer to that is because Pop holds a license with WWE that the only wrestlers they can do are WWE wrestlers. That's why. Because Pop holds that agreement with WWE to license their shit. But they're getting past this. They're getting past this because they're Marvel characters. They're not wrestlers.
Was that because of the Young Bucks 2-pack, or how did the Young Bucks 2-pack come about then? Because there was a Young Bucks 2-pack from New Japan. of them in New Japan.
Yeah, that's because they licensed
that was like 3 years ago, I think. 2 years ago.
They licensed that themselves, and that's the kind of stuff that makes WWE mad. So the next time they strike a deal, it's always in their favor because they've got the money to make it work. And it's true, man. If you've ever been to if you've never been to the Pop store in Hollywood, it's actually cool to check out. It's a cool place to visit.
I was gonna go, but then pandemic.
Well, they're open again.
I know.
I think
that doesn't mean I want to go.
Oh, I think Rick went and he was like, "Hey, it was actually done really well. Like they limit the people in the store, and the store's huge. So even if they're limiting people, like you're not gonna be around anybody. It would. I would consider that to be a fairly safe place, and I'm pretty cautious where I go. But their whole section of sports stuff. The only wrestling figures you see are WWE. That's it. But that's why. That's how they got past that. Because it's a Marvel character, and then they just turned the wrestlers into Marvel heroes. To do that. I heard, again, it was on Conan's podcast. The guy that does Mass Republic, Kevin Kleinrock, who's in the Punks of Wrestling group, actually. Kevin Kleinrock is in the Punks of Wrestling group. He's one of the guys that's in it. He was the one talking about it. Because it has to do, he had something to do with the deal, I think. But that was pretty interesting. But we've got that. Before Vic was talking, Vic, did you want to say anything else about that?
Yeah, hold on. I sent you a picture on this group page here of the characters. Okay, I just sent it to you. Hopefully you guys watch it.
Oh, in the chat?
You guys see it.
Let's see.
Chat.
What am I doing? Oh, chat.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. Dude, all it is look, it's their costumes are inspired by Marvel characters, bro. That's it. And the names are stylized freaking Hispanic. That's all it is.
Which is shit that some of the wrestlers on their own have already done in WWE. I mean, you've had guys like what's his name? Ricochet.
Yeah, Ricochet.
And a couple. Sasha has done homages to other, and then lately Gargano and Candice LeRae I know have been doing some homages. I know they did an Ahsoka.
Yeah, they did a Nightmare Before Christmas theme on NXT.
They just did Jack and Sally. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was on Halloween Havoc.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, but there's the thing about it. They're doing it without referencing. I remember, I think Rey Mysterio and the couple of WrestleManias. He always dressed up as the Daredevil or Wolverine, and a couple of times I think Vince has even told him, he goes, "I really do like your gear, but let's tone it down a bit because we don't want Marvel and Disney coming after us to sue us." You know what I mean? So
Vince McMahon, like, we ain't got that live event money to cover you.
Yeah, pretty much. But you know what? Even in AAA, with AAA wrestling, I remember when I was a kid, when Power Rangers was such a big thing back in the day, they would actually have 6 wrestlers dressed up as the Power Rangers to wrestle.
That's because Mexico don't give no fuck, dude. That's why.
Yeah.
Mexico don't give no fuck. Like, fuck you. We do what we want.
Hey, but now with the internet, it's so easy to have a Saban come and look at these guys and sue them.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, my Transformer toys, when I was a kid, my Transformer toys never had the little Autobot or Decepticon sticker, bro, because they were always from the swap meet. Same damn toy. Just didn't have the little sticker. Because I had a friend who had the same one as I did. Mine just didn't have the sticker. What? Everything else was the exact same.
Yeah, I had some friends that didn't have the sticker.
Yeah, they got that shit at the Chino swap meet, bro. That's what I got my shit. That mate fool. Hey, well, there's only 3 matches left.
I thought that the storytelling, the match wasn't particularly great, but the storytelling in the Mox Kingston match was pretty good. I thought. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't have probably as much of the background on those guys as you guys do, but I thought the storytelling was pretty good. The match was okay.
I don't have a whole lot other than to know that these guys all cross paths in whether it be TNA or like CZW or when they were first coming up. I don't have, or ROH or something. I don't have much background on Eddie Kingston other than he did that bit a while back when I was still watching TNA when it was the he came in
LAX.
The original LAX or whatever. So and I thought he was like, he could definitely talk on the mic, but I enjoy him. He's entertaining. So that match, they kicked the shit out of each other in that match.
Yes.
They both seemed to enjoy it. Although I would have picked Eddie Kingston's not. I wouldn't call him fat, but he's definitely not a skinny kid. That color green did not go well on him, bro.
No, it did not, dude.
No, I was like, bro, that's why I wear black. This is the entire reason I wear black.
What? I'm like, but was it worth putting Eddie Kingston in that main event match? Seriously, I don't know.
Even Mox would tell you yes, because I think Mox is the one that suggested it to begin with. It's like, we can get this thing going, and it's not over. If in case you notice, like you watched Dynamite, I haven't watched Dynamite this week, but from last week, it's still going. And now with the return of Pac, you get Mox involved in there somewhere too, because those two have had some shit before. So I know it could keep going. I like to see him at least in the top tier. I think he could be a player in the top tier, if not always the main event.
I mean, just like with anything else, if you got some skills on the mic, at least you're not going to be Baron Corbin.
Well, you know what? Let's talk about Mick Foley, for example. The guy could deliver a promo. He's not the best looking guy. He doesn't have the body of a champion, but the man could deliver a promo and has the charisma to become a champion.
And there was
nobody could get a cheap pop like Mick Foley.
Yeah, well, and he did it on purpose. But there was little shit in the Kingston. Yeah, I know. Well, first of all, let me just tell you that when he said, I never got eliminated from that pay-per-view, I told you all that. I told y'all when we covered that pay-per-view, dude, Eddie Kingston never got eliminated. Like, he never fucking got eliminated. I saw it. I watched it. I was like,
you did say that.
Yeah. So, okay, that was a good build-up. And all the other little stuff where he's, Penta's my best friend, whatever. He literally freaking kicked Phoenix out of the ring, dude. He pushed him out of the ring. Real subtly with his foot, but I was like, did I just see that? Like, that's freaking...
Yeah.
Oh, that little tiny shit is badass. Like, where do they go with this?
The one-on-one between Eddie and Mox the week before Full Gear was some pretty amazing talking. I mean, I just thought it was really great. Him getting in his face, questioning about his promise to his mother and all that. And you could just see so much great face acting from Eddie, so much emotion just coming through his face right at that moment, and the camera work on that segment was really great too.
I agree. Has anybody watched Dynamite tonight?
I was watching a little bit of it earlier today.
I'll watch it tomorrow at the shop.
All right, then I won't speak on it.
I don't care. I know the other guys.
It doesn't matter to me. Yeah.
So as far as the Eddie Kingston story with Pac returning, they're Pentagon and Phoenix turned on Kingston and the Butcher and the Blade. So the Death Triangle is back together.
Sweet.
So that's probably going to be the feud there.
Which is cool.
I mean,
which is cool.
It makes sense because we got kind of cheated out of that anyways. So
yeah.
That was
it's just one of those turnaround fixes, almost like Bunny.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm all of a sudden with QT Marshall, and why?
All of a sudden.
Even though Blade is my husband, and everybody knows this. Okay.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, back with Butcher and the Blade. Okay.
With no reason given, by the way. No reason at all given.
Yeah, that was some WWE writing right there.
Oh yeah.
What do you guys think about?
Actually, if you go to AEW Dynamite, they actually showed a clip of the Bunny using all of QT Marshall's credit cards and shit
it was that. There. It was there subtle, but I think a lot of it happened on Dark, and we don't particularly.
Well, yeah, that's the problem. I did eventually get that. A lot of setup for that was on Dark, and I was like, okay, well maybe this wasn't as sudden as it seemed, but I guess I have to watch Dark.
Well, yeah. I have the time now because I don't watch Raw and SmackDown, so we'll see.
Exactly.
Mike, what were you gonna say?
What do you guys think about them putting the TNT title on Darby?
I think it was a good choice.
He's over.
Yeah.
It's a good way to get Cody out of that picture. Move him on to something else for the time being.
Cody's entrance just keeps getting more ridiculous every time.
Yeah.
He had like 40 guys come out with him.
I like to think that maybe we're setting up for maybe Orange Cassidy against Darby to get the belt on Orange Cassidy. I mean, eventually they have to. I think eventually they want to put that belt on Orange Cassidy. I just think that they thought it was too soon to just give it straight from Cody to him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you guys think about that. About Orange Cassidy being
I don't know why
line
you
for
would pick Darby over Orange Cassidy. I don't have a problem with it. It seems like it's much too soon for Orange Cassidy, and I would tell you it's maybe a little bit too soon for Darby Allin. The thing about this whole thing being in this pandemic is, I've heard Jericho say it, and I agree. You can't tell who's over and who's not. Because you don't everything. Well, now you can a little bit with AEW because they have a little bit of a live crowd, but yeah, it's hard. You can't tell. Like I think Orange Cassidy, Dan and I have seen Orange Cassidy live. That fool's over. He's over in front of a live crowd. Darby was too, but is he still now?
If he wasn't already over, the Jericho thing with the mimosa match got Orange Cassidy more over than he needed to be over already.
Yeah.
But when do we get to the point where they're waiting too long on Orange Cassidy? And I mean, he's not going to become Roman Reigns or anything.
You know what? I would rather have them do that than be Braun Strowman.
Well, that's for sure.
And let's throw the belt on this guy and then have nothing to do with him.
How about that, man?
I would
Braun Strowman versus Orange Cassidy.
Oh,
come on.
There it is.
Hey, Rey Mysterio did it. So
there you go.
The Giant Killer. Remember when he was a Giant Killer?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see.
I mean, because then it also brings in somebody else who might be. I don't know if they're gonna if he's looking to be straight to heavyweight or if they might work him in the TNT, and that's MJF. Where do you think that? Where you could think as? I mean, the match itself was, it was Jericho
right.
getting,
Jericho
had to get him over. But where do you think this is all going? I mean, we're not having another, repeat of every Jericho storyline in WWE where he becomes friends with somebody and then somebody turns on the other person.
I think I think in this one right now, I think what's gonna happen, either they're gonna kick Jericho out, or this is a way for them for Sammy to become face. That's just my opinion. But
I thought they would out Jericho.
In ordinary times, I would have told you they would have outed Jericho. Because he would have been going on tour. Because that's what was supposed to happen when this broke out. It was supposed to be Jericho was going to take a leave of absence in the summertime from like May to however long. And then obviously it didn't happen, so he stuck around.
Yeah.
What are you doing now? Does that mean he's going to take a break? Because we all know eventually something's going to happen where it's probably going to be Jericho that gets ousted. But is that because he's taking a break? Is he going to leave for a little while to say, hey, I'm just going to settle down and do my own thing for it? Because he's famous for doing that. He's famous for, I'm going to take a break and do this other stuff. Normally it's the band, but that's not really happening right now. So is it just stay home? Because this is the payday. The payday is he gets to work. He's making a check because he's on TV every week.
Right.
I mean, I don't know what their contracts are like. I don't know if it's guaranteed money or if he has to work in order to, to make money. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. I mean, is that what we see? Because it's based on the charisma alone, you see MJF as the leader. There's nobody else in the inner circle that can pull off to be the leader like Jericho can, because they don't have that charisma.
I agree.
They just don't have it. It's a good group of guys. I like them. They're entertaining. Like I think Santana and Ortiz are funny when it calls for it, but they're not the leaders. Even in LAX, it was Conan that was the guy on the mic. Because Conan has the charisma. So, you know what I mean?
Speaking of...
Come on!
Okay, I'm not going to say anything. Never mind.
Don't sell it. Why are you selling Hager short like that?
So I just heard... You forget how decorated Hager is. Don't forget how decorated Hager actually is.
Oh, yeah.
He's decorated. He's a freaking WWE champion. He's a former WWE champion. So he's got a lot of freaking accolades behind him, and he's been in the business a long time. It's just speaking isn't really his thing. He hit gold when he got into that group because it was like he can be that silent bruiser type and just kick everybody's ass. But truth be told, like he was just on Jericho's podcast after his last MMA fight, because he's an ass kicker too, dude. As far as that, he got his ass beat, and he didn't see that thing, and he won. He won that split decision. But he can tell stories, and he is capable of doing all this. It's just like the charisma stuff is not. It's not Jericho level at all. Like, he couldn't pull that off. No, his position is where it's supposed to be. So Mike had to bail on us because we're about done anyway. I think we covered everything, actually. Anything else we wanted to cover? We covered pretty much everything that we wanted to.
I think we have, actually. Wait, the AEW, the introduction of the AEW video game.
Oh yeah, I didn't pay too much attention to that. What did you think? Does it look like these guys are freaking superheroes or what?
Well, I'll be honest with you, man.
Kenny Omega was the Hulk, bro.
That
chest.
Dude, I'm just, you know what? I am just hoping that I know that that's like the process. You know, that's just an example. Like a little trailer. I'm hoping the graphics get a little better.
Yeah, because it
was. I don't know.
It didn't look bad, but I was like, I think I would take WCW NWO Revenge over some of these graphics.
Yeah. No, and not only that, the fact that they're releasing the that game, then they're releasing the Elite Manager mode on the mobile device. I think they're releasing like 3 things. I think the mobile game they're releasing, I think, like 2 mobile games and
Are they doing like a casino too?
Yeah, Casino Royale game or the casino, something like that. Yeah, and I did see the video when they introduced it. We had freaking Kenny Omega dressed up as fucking Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't catch all that video. I know you sent it to us. I didn't catch the whole thing. Okay, I was wondering what that reference is about. All right.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm not a big gamer. Anyway, so I know a lot of people are. I would just be cool if the graphics did look a little bit better, because it was kind of like, yeah, okay.
I know. Did you get your PS5 already? Did you pay like $2,000 for that thing already?
No, hell no. A lot of fools did, baby. A lot of fools did.
They sure did.
There's a guy at Temecula, man. Just take the 15. There's a guy at Temecula. He's selling it for $1,500.
Damn.
Nah, I'm good. I gotta hit that OnlyFans a little more to get to that kind of money. Nah.
I know in Dan's case, maybe cut a couple of haircuts. Maybe get a couple, 20 haircuts, man. I can get that done. Right, Dan?
Yeah.
I think we got it, gentlemen. We covered everything. I know we said we weren't going to do match by match, and we didn't go match by match, but we kind of hit everything, because there was only 8 matches on this card. So, because it's an AEW pay-per-view, so they all went a little longer rather than the 30,000 WWE matches that get put on like Survivor Series. So
I was going to tell you, have you guys heard anything about Nick Aldis defending the NWA Championship on AEW anytime soon?
Is he going to do that? Is that the rumor or what? I mean,
there's already there. Going on. There's a rumor going on about him maybe defending the title against maybe Cody as a rematch, or maybe somebody like who was I have no idea. There's been just a couple of rumors here and there that I've been hearing about it.
It's good for business. It's good for business overall for everybody. You know, it's good for Billy Corgan to get, you know, his guys out there getting some work, and then it's good for AEW because they get to see their solid competition and everywhere else. And if you get those working agreements together, you bring in guys that, you know, become household names and can move some merchandise for you, or when they hit their areas when, you know, stuff's relatively normal again. So it's not a bad idea. I've never thought that was been a bad idea, and it's always been intriguing to see, hey, these guys are from this company and they're working for this stuff. So I'm cool with that. I hope we do. I hope we do see him.
Yeah, you know that guy from WWE, the guy that plays the acting commissioner, Adam Pearce.
Yeah.
You know he was.
Who is that guy? He's
a former four-time NWA World Champion.
He did a lot with NWA Hollywood. He did a lot of work out there.
He had a rivalry with Blue Demon Jr.
Oh.
Yeah, he was the first Mexican superstar to win the NWA World title.
I think he retired to go to WWE. If I remember the story right, like he retired to go there and do that because he's respected as a booker and as a person like an agent behind the scenes. Yeah.
Trainer.
And he also had COVID, so
Yeah.
He made it through that too, that ordeal too. So, all right, gentlemen, anything else? I think we covered everything we kind of wanted to talk about. Unless anybody's got any rants or raves about anything.
The only other thing I wanted to talk about was the late dinner debonair.
Go for it, and then we'll end it with that. That sounds good.
Okay, no, I just wanted to talk about it because it was you text me right, and you messaged me, and we talked about that. It's probably like we talked about how it's like one of the greatest non-wrestling or somebody said it's one of the greatest non-wrestling spots ever, probably ever.
I can promise you that wasn't me, but okay.
Okay, well, it wasn't you, but I mean, do you disagree? I mean, was it not?
It was entertaining. It was entertaining. You didn't know where it was going to go. The part about how they were ordering the steak back and forth with each other and like each until they got a piece of raw meat was pretty funny. And then the dance number came out of freaking nowhere. Like what the hell is going on here? It was one of those like, this is so dumb it's kind of funny moments, and you're like, okay, this is like highly entertaining. So I mean, and those two alone.
It ranks up there with this is Rock. This is the Rock McFoley. This is your life thing. Things like that. It's fun. It's entertaining. It has really nothing. It had zero to do with wrestling. It didn't really advance the story any. It was just plain fucking hilarious and fun. I loved it. It was great.
Did we lose Vic in this call too?
Yeah, a long time ago. He disappeared from my screen.
Yeah, actually.
Then that sounds like it's time to call it. Everybody's dropping out. It means we're done. So we'll end it with that. We'll end it with a big dance number at the end, Jericho and MJF, and call it with that. All right, yeah. We'll get this up ASAP, and then the next time something big happens, we'll talk. I don't watch WWE anymore. Really, I don't watch Raw and SmackDown. I can't take it. It's just not something I'm invested in. I probably will watch Survivor Series just for the sake of watching Survivor Series, but I don't have any high expectations. I don't even know who's wrestling. Let's put it like that. I don't even know who's wrestling. So, but I'll probably check it out because what else am I going to do that weekend? I got nothing going on.
I mean, at this point, basically, unless there's any matches in a WWE pay-per-view that are worth us getting together and talk about, and that'll be at your guys' discretion. Otherwise, we don't really need to talk unless there's a lot of stuff backs up in AEW Weekly that needs to be talked about between now and Revolution.
Well, as you're listening to this, whoever listens to this, the Extraordinary Culture podcast. Well, this dropped. Obviously, you're listening to this. The Extraordinary Culture podcast will probably drop within a day or two of this, and then probably before Thanksgiving, you will see another episode of the Disney Culture coming up because Knots is doing some stuff that Gina, our friend on that podcast, is going to take part in. Michael is always wanting to talk about. I don't know if you heard about this, Dan. Magic Mountain is doing a drive-through for the lights. Have you heard of this?
Robbie was telling me about it.
Yeah, so they're doing that. I know he wants to talk about that. Everybody's always got thoughts about what Disney's doing. Hopefully, so we'll do that. Anthony, are you going to say something, bud?
Oh, no, I was just going to say that we forgot to talk about Sasha on Mandalorian. I was going to mention it, but I forgot.
Well,
I just realized that I didn't realize that she was with Bo-Katan. I didn't realize that at first.
Oh, that's even who Bo-Katan was? That was the character, or what?
Well, so you did watch it, yes?
Dude, bro, I'm watching that shit at 5:30 in the morning on Fridays. Yeah.
So she's one of the three other. Yeah. She's just one of the three other. So
she's one of the three
Night Owls.
I was gonna say Death Watch, but that's not what Death Watch was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, technically he can't be a Night Owl because Night Owls are only women. But he's definitely painted up like them, so at some point they've allowed men probably to, because he also doesn't have the thing on his helmet. But Yeah, that was her group was called the Night Owls. They had the blue armor and the little owl on her. She has the owl on her helmet.
Yeah.
It was a damn good episode. It was a damn good episode.
We just watched it again today at the shop.
Yeah, so there was a lot of cool things. That was a really cool episode. But Sasha, you saw that she got credited with her real name.
I did that. She got credited as Mercedes Vercano or whatever her last name is. Like she got credited as that instead of Sasha Banks. All right, guys, that'll do it. We'll get that out. Plenty of content coming your way before the end of the month.
Kayfabe Culture is part of the Extraordinary Culture podcast universe. You can email us at exocast@yahoo.com. We're also on social media. You can find us on Instagram at exoculture. We're on Facebook at exocult. We're on Twitter at exocultcast. You can listen to Extraordinary Culture or Kayfabe Culture on PodOmatic, iTunes, Apple Podcast, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify. You can YouTube Extraordinary Culture Podcast, or you can ask your smart home device to play the Extraordinary Culture Podcast.
No, don't do this. Enough is enough.